Islands, right? One of nature's most beautiful and fascinating landforms. An expanse of land surrounded by nothing but water, mostly rich in tropical forestry and beautiful sands. How we all long for a couple of days on an island. With how breathtaking islands can be, natural or artificial, populated or deserted, tropical or Arctic, not every country can boast of having any, while some can boast some crazy numbers of them. Just how crazy do you think these numbers are? Stay with us in this video to find out as we take you through the countries blessed with the most islands across the world. Number 10. Chile, 5,000 islands. Kicking off our list, we have the South American nation of Chile. Known for its exotic taste in red wines, the devilish piscos the nation offers, as well as breathtaking scenery, such as the forests, mountains, glaciers, geysers, deserts, and beaches. Other than all these attractions for every and any tourist, Chile has an impressive number of islands, with at least 5,000 of them spread across the nation. Some of the most outstanding of these islands include the Isla Grande de Tierra del Fuego, which translates to the Big Island of the Land of Fire, thanks to its larger-than-life scenery and amazing natural parks with mesmerizing views of gnarled Lahenga forests, peaked adorned with snow, rolling carpets of wildflowers, waterfalls, glaciers, and swaths of beach forest. There is also the Easter Island, known as the Rapa Nui, with almost 1,000 mysterious moai statues, carved between 1400 and 1650 AD. The Chiloé, which is the nation's biggest eponymous archipelago, with colorful palafitos, and the Juan Fernandez archipelago, with a range of rare endemic species. Just breathtaking. Number 9. Japan, 6,852 islands. Up next, we have one of the world's most industrious countries that have managed to keep all that nature gifted her despite all the industrialization that has taken place. We are talking about Japan, with its 6,852 islands. Of these thousands of islands, 5 are the most notable and biggest by size, and they are the Hokkaido Island, with roughly 5.2 million inhabitants, which is characterized by a breathtaking colored cooler, rugged climate, vast plains, and extensive forest coverage. Another of the major islands is Honshu Island, with roughly 104 million inhabitants. Japan has a large population, so that explains it. But Honshu is probably also the main island in the whole country, and is not only the largest and the most populous, but also the center of Japan's economic and political power. Then there is the Shikoku Island, a much smaller rural island, the highly volcanic Kyushu Island, which stands as a gateway to Japan, being the closest to the Korean peninsula, and the Okinawa Islands to make up the main islands. Number 8. The Philippines, 7,641 islands. The next country on our list of countries with the most islands is the Philippines. Despite not being large when it comes to landmass, this country boasts an impressive 7,641 islands scattered in the southeastern part of Asia, and the region between Taiwan and Kalimantan spread out 115,830 square miles of land area and about 772 square miles of water expanse. The Philippines is known to be one of the world's most famous archipelagos, and the largest of its islands is Luzon Island, located in the nation's capital of Manila, and as a result has most of the nation's human activities. Some other notable islands of the 7,641 islands in the nation include the Visayas in the central regions, known for its beaches and covers, and the Mindanao in the south, covered in lush forests. If you're ever looking to visit a country with an abundant variety of islands and strong Western cultural influence, then the Philippines is a gem for you. Number 7. Australia, 8,222 islands. You probably didn't see this coming because Australia itself is an island, right? Yup, that's right. Australia is a continent and still is considered an island on its own, but still compromises an impressive 8,222 islands in the Pacific Ocean. Australia dominates the surrounding islands with its coastal fringe, from smaller rocks that can be covered by water at high tide to islands twice the size of the Australian Capital Territory. Notable islands in Australia include the world's largest sand island, Fraser Island, 200 kilometers north of Brisbane in Queensland. And if sand islands aren't it for you, there are oceanic islands like the popular isolated island in the Indian Ocean known as Christmas Island. Australia's wealth of islands has the Whitsunday Islands as the most famous, being made up of 74 smaller islands located within the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park and home to the astounding Whitehaven Beach with the purest sands. The Rottnest Island, Magnetic Island, Fitzroy Island, Phillip Island, Lord Howe, and the Kangaroo Islands add to the unending list of wonderful beaches to visit in Australia. Number 6. Indonesia, 17,504 islands. Moving on, the next country on our list more than doubles the number of islands Australia has. That's right, Indonesia is the 6th country on our list and has a minimum of 17,504 islands. If you've done a little reading about Indonesia, then you'll probably not be surprised about that number, as Indonesia boasts the world's largest single archipelago. Of the 17,504 islands, more than 6,000 are inhabited, which is the most of any country in the world when it comes to strictly inhabited islands. 400 of the islands in the nation are known volcanoes, with 100 being active. Indonesia is the 4th most populated nation in the world, with a population of over 270 million. But what is more shocking is that over half that population is on one single island, Java Island. With a population of about 140 million, Java Island is almost the same size as the entire state of New York, and still isn't the nation's biggest island. That title belongs to the island of Sumatra, which is much larger but contains only about 1/3 of the country's population. Some other main islands out of Indonesia's 5 major islands and 30 smaller group of islands and islets include the Indonesian part of New Guinea, known as Papua or Irian Jaya. Kalimantan is also called the Indonesian Borneo and Sulawesi. Number 5. The United States of America, 18,617 islands. Up next on our list is the USA, with an impressive 18,617 islands, which are claimed to be all under the world power. Virtually every state in the US has an island somewhere in its lakes or rivers or maybe off the coasts. Alaska alone has about 2,670 named islands, and there are also well-known locales like the Hawaiian archipelago, with 8 large islands, 7 which are inhabited, and 129 smaller islands, the Puerto Rican Islands, the US Virgin Islands, Guam, American Samoa, and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. These are large islands for sure and have quite the population, particularly during the vacation months. Suppose you're on the lookout for less populated and smaller island regions. In that case, the US also has islands like the Corn Islands, Navassa Island, Quita Bank, Roncador Cay, Serrana Bank, Baker, Howland, Jarvis Islands, Canton, and Enderbury Islands, Johnston Atoll, Kingman Reef, the Midway Islands, Palmyra Atoll, and Wake Island, all to suit your taste. Number 4. Canada, 52,455 islands. Not many lists have the US ranked directly behind Canada, but a total number of 52,455 islands gives the world's 2nd largest country by landmass the number 4 spot on our list. With such an impressive land expanse, it's no surprise Canada has this many islands, with some of them being scattered all over the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic and Arctic regions, making Canada the nation with the longest coastline in the world. 3 of the world's largest islands are also in Canada, and are all part of the Arctic archipelago, which has more than 550,000 square miles. These 3 islands are Baffin Island, Ellesmere Island, and Victoria Island, and they are located north of the country in the Arctic Ocean, but can hardly be said to be the nation's most beautiful islands. Islands like the Gulf Islands located in the Strait of Georgia, the Magdalene Islands, the Prince Edward Island, the Thousand Islands Archipelago with 1,864 islands, the Fogo Island, and the Sable Island all come into the conversation when the most beautiful of Canada's islands is in question. Number 3. Finland, 178,947 islands. Getting to the tail end of our list, we have many countries with so many islands you wonder how much mainland expanse is left. Finland, for example, is a third on our list with a mind-blowing 178,947 islands, with about 187,888 lakes and 549 of the islands being permanently inhabited, while many others are solely for recreational activities. The majority of Finland's islands are in the archipelago Finland region that runs from the southwestern coast to the Baltic Sea and is made up of islands like the Åland Islands at the entrance to the Gulf of Bothnia, which took years of international debate to eventually be declared Finnish, the Canasaari Pita, the beautiful island, the Pelenge Islands, which have been inhabited since the 1500s and is now an active community of almost 300 people, the Suomenlinna Islands, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site thanks to the old walls, ramparts, and tunnels, and tranquil environment, and the Pentela Island, another historic, picturesque Finnish island. Other islands in Finland include the Josaro Ghost Island, the Nauvoo Island, the Riposaro, and the Kofarken Archipelago. Number 2. Norway, 239,057 islands. Almost at the top of our list, we have a neighboring country to find Finland and home to 239,057 islands, Norway. Norway is world-renowned for its beautiful islands that make perfect vacation destinations, and one of the most notable of these islands is Lofoten Island, in Arctic waters, which is a sustainable tourism destination with great attention paid to environmental, natural, and sociocultural preservation, and is home to a vast population of fishes and natural wonders like the midnight sun during the day and northern lights during the winter months. Other islands in Norway can be found in the western fjords region, with many islands characterized by steep hills, deep valleys, waterfalls, rivers, and numerous islands with rugged landscapes. Just picture in your mind, paradise, right? There are also very small islands found on the south coast of Norway, and many other islands like the Senja, Kavløya, Tromsøya, Andøya, the Sundøya, the Hovdøya, and the Spitsbergen. Number 1. Sweden, 267,570 islands. At the top of our list and the country with the most islands in the world, we have Sweden, with a total of 267,570. You heard that right, 267,570. Only 24,000 of these insane numbers of islands are open to the public. However, through the country's right of public access policy, it allows hiking through lush forests and fields, and foraging for berries or mushrooms as long as respect is shown for the natural environment. If you think 24,000 is a small number of accessible islands compared to the country's total number of islands, then you must know that less than 1,000 of 267,570 islands are inhabited. The thousands of islands are largely along the eastern coastline from the far north to the deep south, with others located off Sweden's west coast. The Stockholm Archipelago is one of the most renowned, with nearly 30,000 islands, islets, and rocks. Other notable islands are the Gothenburg Archipelago and the Bohuslan Archipelago on the west coast, with the latter being ranked as the 7th most beautiful natural wilderness area in the world by CNN Travel. If you enjoyed this video, go on to the next one on your screen. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell to never miss a new video from us. Also, in the comment section, let us know what you think about these nations and their islands.